So hi, on the Guys Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Monday.
Happy fucking Monday, dude. Happy Monday.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah.
It's certainly a Monday. I have already, last week was so many tour announces, big tour announces that the on sale spilled into this week. And, we recorded the podcast last Tuesday, but it didn't come out until Wednesday night. And in that episode, we were like, we don't know what Mike Hem's doing, but they're announcing in a couple hours. Well, they announced the fucking tour playing the Black Parade in full. Glory, in typical Virginia fashion, there's no date within a 500-mile radius of Glory's house.
And honestly, I didn't fucking want you here because the Black Parade should have been fucking dead
17 years ago.
8 years ago? 13? However fucking many years ago. Oh my god, I said 8. Shit. My
8 years, 8 years ago.
Ooh, 8 years, 8 years ago. So yeah, fuck off. Didn't want it anyways. The Black Parade should have fucking stayed dead because that's what made it special. Yeah. Anyways, that's it.
Yeah, well, I'm going twice, New Jersey and Philadelphia, because why the hell not? I mean, I wasn't going to miss My Chemical Romance in the biggest possible venue you can play in New Jersey that isn't just an open field where they can stuff as many people as possible. This is... it don't get any bigger than this, MetLife Stadium here in New Jersey. And then Philly, because I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just doing it anyway. And I'll worry about the repercussions to my bank account later. And then today, I bought a Linkin Park ticket because there were a bunch of people on the Linkin Park subreddit that were so nice as to share their pre-sale codes. Like, it's awesome. It's a paid, it was for their paid fan club. And I'm not nearly a big enough. I'm not in a paid fan club for my favorite bands, let alone a band like Linkin Park. That
you are almost for Jonas Brothers though. I remember that. Yeah. I remember that.
The Vinyl Club, yeah. So I was just like scrolling, hoping that there was some person that was like at least offering it in DMs, and someone just posted it saying that they had two and their brother used theirs. So they were just like, here's my code, go at it. And I was able to get a ticket because I wanted to go, but I wasn't married to going. But getting into like the super ultra exclusive small pre-sale where the entire venue was on sale, I got a ticket for my Linkin Park budget. Tickets were pretty affordable, though. I'm going to be honest. Throughout the venue, like
more affordable than my chem.
Yeah. Like I didn't think that. Like I think floor was coming in at like a little over 150 before fees.
That's not bad for Linkin Park.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fair. I mean, the seats very quickly spiked from 70, which was mine before fees, to 100. But I was able to have my pick of where I wanted to sit in the $70 range, and Paris being the opener is a bonus. And really what pushed me over the edge to get me to go, because I've been digging the new Linkin Park, and we'll get into that. But I haven't gotten to see a full Paris set yet. I caught some of their set at Sad Summer a couple years ago, so that'll be a good time. Obviously, it'd just be a support set, but I'll be able to start from the beginning and catch the entire thing, even if it's only 30 minutes.
Yeah, damn right.
And then tomorrow's Tate McRae pre-sale. And I gotta go.
I gots to go.
I gotta go. There is no option other than to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's Tate McRae, your favorite artist ever.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have a blast. But this past week, I actually went to a show on Tuesday. The night after we recorded the podcast, I went and saw, I don't know how, but they found me. Alex Sucks and Brasco were the
oh my god, I thought someone just caught a stray. No. Like I was like, whoa, who the fuck is Alex?
We're the support on the show. Brasco was a last minute add to the East Coast leg of the tour. I thought it was cool. I've seen, I don't know how, Headline a couple times now, and that was the most like fitting support that I've seen. They typically go a little bit more like indie rock for the support, which is fine. It's not always like the support typically winds up not being my cup of tea because of that. But the bands are always good. They're solid.
Exactly.
Brasco
They're still good quality.
Yeah. Anyway. Brasco was a little bit more of like that 80s inspired pop that I don't know how obviously does. So or dabbles in here and there, dabbles
if
in.
they have that little sprinkle in it. Yeah.
So I thought that it fit a lot better than some other support that I've seen for them. Alex Sucks was the definition of the typical I don't know how support with like the typical indie rock sound. Again, thought it was cool, but not really my cup of tea. Wouldn't go out of my way to see them again, and that's no offense to them. It's just not for me. But I did think they went up there and ripped it. They were an entertaining watch. And then the men of the hour, I don't know how, but they found me. Got to see them back in New Jersey. That was actually the first band I saw ever at Starland Ballroom, way back in 2019. So it was like a full circle moment. I got to see them support back in 2019, my first show ever at Starland, and now I'm getting to see them headline on a Tuesday night. So that was cool. Great set list. I made my way down to the floor. Typically at Starland, I like to hang around the wings and stay off of the floor because you'll easily get trapped at the typical shows I go to there. But the floor was a little bit on the lighter side, so I went and stood by the back barricade and actually got to stand next to Dallin during Visitation of the Ghost.
Oh my God, Mr. Weeks.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Did you shake his hand?
I did. No, he parts the crowd, and then he basically strolls on down, grabs the microphone, and walks around like the lion a little bit and makes his way back up on the stage. The whole thing is like don't touch, don't poke, don't pull, don't anything. He does that.
Which is dope.
Yeah, he does that spiel before he gets in the crowd, and luckily people always respect that. At least at the shows that I've seen him do it at, which is good. Let's keep doing that.
Guys, let's respect artists when they say, "Hey, don't fucking touch me."
Yeah.
Let's keep doing that.
Let's keep doing that. But yeah, overall, it was a great show. Good to finally see them because it hasn't been as long as I thought. March was the last time I saw them.
That was so long ago.
It feels like a lifetime ago. But it was good to finally see them again, especially here in Jersey because I've had to travel to Philly the past couple of times I've seen them. Coming up for me, I got nothing for the next couple of weeks, which is I'm chilling. I'm good with that.
Big chilling.
Yeah, and after that, I'd honestly have to look at my calendar to tell you. I know I got 4 Year Strong, and hopefully Under Oath if ticket prices come down. But other than that, I got some things to round off my year. But I'm still kind of figuring it out. I'm free balling it.
Hey man, fuck yeah! I have one show coming up this week. I have the Plot New, Currents, 0936, and Windwalkers. There you go, off the dome. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited.
Such a great
I've been getting into the Plot New for like the past like week and a half. It's like I don't know what happened. A fucking switch flipped in my brain, and now it's like that they're all I want to listen to. So learning the lyrics, guys, I will be there.
Hell yeah.
I'll be pointing and screaming. Maybe not like screaming, but like I'll be pointing for sure. I'll be pointing. I'm so excited.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, we got music to chat about this week. Heavy hitter albums for sure. Not a ton of singles, but the big juggernaut albums. So
yeah,
we'll take it. Kicking it off here with Poppy. She dropped a new album, Negative Spaces, and holy fucking shit. This is what we were asking for a couple years ago when we reviewed Zig, which was last year, and was like, what the hell?
What is this? Okay, so I think this album is incredible. I think the first half, actually, I'd probably break it up into quarters. I'd say it switches off where it goes, the first quarter is heavy, it's metalcore. It's leaning into kind of the genre that she's been taking over for the past year or so. I don't know, ever since I almost said Artificial Suicide, the Violence Against Nature van. Ever since she hopped on the van track and also the Knocked Loose track, and she's just been kind of dabbling in that heavy area. Then in the second quarter, she goes into more of like a pop rock situation,
Yeah.
and it was like a little bit of a whiplash because I was like, she was just like screaming in the last track, and now she's singing in this track, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then it flips again, and then it goes right back. So it's just like, I think it's great, and I love the variety, and I love how she was able to kind of jump back and forth between two different genres and still make it a cohesive piece of work. I fucking loved the record, and it definitely made me excited for whatever she has up her sleeve, tour, literally anything. If she comes near me, I would go out to see this record live because it was that good.
Mhm.
I'm gonna fucking check out my favorite songs and then you can go. I would say Push Go. That's one of the poppier ones. Crystallized is incredible. Honestly, the first quarter is probably my favorite. Have You Had Enough? The Cost of Giving Up, They're All Around Us, Yesterday, Crystallized, just fucking incredible. I love heavy poppy. It makes so much sense because it's kind of that thing that she was going for when she first debuted on YouTube, where it's kind of like she looks sweet and she looks like kind and cutesy, and then but she's unsettling as fuck. Like she's creepy.
Yeah.
I think her leaning into kind of metalcore and screaming and heavier music definitely pulls on that shit that she did back then, where it's like the look does not match what she's actually doing, and her stage presence does not match what she's doing. I think it's great. Love it. Big fan.
Yeah, hell yeah. Been a big fan of the tracks that obviously Poppy has been on over the past year or so, as well as the singles off of this album. And I Disagree, which was the industrial metal record, where then we got Flux and Zig, where we were kind of like, okay, what the fuck is going on here? Yeah. And now we're so back. You're definitely right in the sense of there's plenty of heavy moments on this record, and honestly, I expected that. With like, you don't just break in and have some of the biggest tracks in the metal and hardcore scene and then be like, pop album.
Guys, I'm doing indie on the next record, by the way. I'm gonna break out the acoustic guitar.
Pop album. There's definitely poppy moments on here. But that's fine because she's always, no record that we have heard from her has been the same thing for the entire album anyway. So it's like, as much as does give this idea of whiplash and this feeling of whiplash, it's expected when I turn on a poppy album. Like when granted, the first poppy song you get on here was a single, Crystallized. It didn't feel weird. Because like the whiplash experience is just what I go in subconsciously knowing when I'm listening to a poppy album for the first time. Now sometimes that will jar me to the fact where I just don't like the album. But this one is done well. Jordan Fish, formerly of Bring Me the Horizon, produced the record, and he did a phenomenal job. The album sounds fucking great. The songs on here are fucking catchy, and I love that there are songs where she is literally screaming like she's like in the pits of hell. And then there's the songs where she's being cutesy and singing, and there's not a single scream for miles in sight. Crystallized was a song that was a single that I was kind of like, okay, what the fuck is this as a single? But it has quickly become one of my favorites on the record because it is so goddamn catchy. Push Go is also another one of my favorites for the same reason. That chorus is so fucking catchy. It's kind of like, it's bouncy, and like I could see myself if I still stood in the pit these days, bouncing and jumping up and down in the pit.
Man, you aren't jumping.
Hey.
Because neither am I. Man. We don't jump at shows, and I know that.
In this alternate reality, I'm jumping up and down to this song in the pit. New Way Out obviously was the lead single. Big fan of that one. Big fan of the way this album opens up with the first handful of songs, because it opens up letting you know you're getting heavy poppy, which I'm into. But Have You Had Enough is also weird enough that it kind of sets the tone for the record. And the center's falling out because just what the hell, that is so goddamn heavy. But overall, it's a great experience. It is, as we've mentioned, teetering on two completely opposite sides of the ball, but makes for a cohesive album and a phenomenal listening experience. This is the album this week or this weekend that I spent the most time with, and honestly was the one that I was most excited to check out, because I didn't know what was coming with the next record that we're going to talk about, Linkin Park. I kind of knew a little bit more of like what to expect. They more so play in the same arena for the most part, so I was a little bit more excited to check out the poppy, because I'm finally back on the poppy train. And I want to see
us back.
I want to see what she does. I'm hoping and praying for a headline in 2025, or just a tour in 2025 that comes near both of us, because she's toured a handful of times now, and I've missed it every single time. So I'd love to catch her in this current era, before it gets weird again.
Yeah, before it gets fucking freaky. Linkin Park dropped their new album From Zero.
Yes, they did.
So I'm gonna just get my takes out of the way, and then you can say your piece. So I went to this album with an open mind, because in past episodes reviewing the singles that they dropped for this record, I had already explained in the past, when I first got into the alternative scene, I was never able to get into Linkin Park. I've listened to them. I've listened to a handful of tracks. They're bigger ones, some small ones recommended by friends. And I never really understood what the mass appeal was. I just kind of said like, okay, well, I could see why people would like it, but I just don't understand why they're so big, because this is nothing crazy to me. With the revival and the band coming back and having a front woman, and them just taking the music a different direction, I was trying to undo kind of my preconceived thoughts and feelings and opinion on Linkin Park, because I'm like, you know what, it's basically a fucking brand new band. Going into this record, I thought it opened well. I think it's a solid, what is it, new rock, new metal album. But the thing is it's just solid. It's, to me, I expected this shit to be like mind-blowing, because it is Linkin Park, and because everyone has been hyping up, like, oh my god, Linkin Park's back, oh my god, they have a new album, they're doing a fucking world tour, it's a massive deal, and this band is incredible, and everyone should tune in, when the album drops. It just like came and went. It's nothing, none of the tracks really caught my ear where I was like, holy shit, I get it now. I understand why everyone was tweaking the fuck out when Linkin Park came back. I understand, why the tours sold out. I understand why they were selling out dates, in one night or whatever. But it's just like, I don't get it. I don't. And I gave it a chance. I gave multiple chances.
I saw.
And I genuinely like, and it sucks because I want to be a part of the hype and the excitement, because there's so much energy going around the revival, but it's like I'm listening to it and it's like, this is literally nothing new. And with all of the work that we've reviewed that Mike Shinoda has, stamped his name on, I was expecting something out of the box, something really creative and interesting, but it felt like it was just okay. Mike, I'll give him that. He is very creative. I love a lot of the music that he's put out. I love a lot of the collaborations he's done. I think he's great. But this album was just nothing. It felt like he was just a tool in it, versus he was actually like a creative outlet. Like it was a creative outlet for him. It felt like he was just there, versus writing and actually doing shit in it. which obviously isn't the case. He was writing and
He's the creative force behind the band.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it feels like he lost all of his creativity. It was like, where did it go?
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's it. It was nothing new to me. It didn't shock me. It didn't, give me anything. And yeah, I wasn't able to pull anything from the record of like, okay, well, this song is going in my playlist.
Yeah. And
I'm so sad.
Going into this, I kind of like, once I got to hear the album, which I listened to it immediately after I listened to the Poppy record. The way that we're talking about this is the way that I listened to my albums that came out on Friday over the weekend. Yeah. Once I heard it, I knew what your opinion was going to be, because I already knew how you felt about the band going in, but I had you clocked, so when you texted me I was like, this doesn't surprise me at all. And why I feel that way is Glory and I have vastly different opinions on this record, and I'll get into mine, but the singles are absolutely the strongest songs on this record.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the fact that your reaction to the Emptiness Machine was, I don't think that this is anything crazy, and for me it was, I think I'm a fan of Linkin Park now,
which is crazy. I just don't. Okay, yeah.
I knew that we were going to fall on completely opposite sides once I heard this record, just because you didn't have the same visceral reaction to some of the singles like I did, and it's not like you have to have this big out of body experience the first time you hear the single, but you didn't. You were like, this is like fine at best, and I'm like, yeah. All right, dude. I got this. I could do the review for Glory.
Thank you. Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
I could do Glory's portion and my portion. But yeah, I enjoyed the record, but I do have a couple of gripes with it. The first one being, like I said, the singles are absolutely the strongest songs on this album, and they were singles for a reason. I mean, The Emptiness Machine is still my favorite song off the album. That and Heavy is the Crown. Heavy is the Crown has quickly climbed up. I think for me, part of why The Emptiness Machine, hit so hard is because I don't think I resonate with what the entire song is talking about, but some of the lyrics on the song I was able to spin into my own life at the time that the song came out, and it was just like, holy fucking shit. And that was kind of why I had this visceral reaction. Not to mention, I think that Emily's vocals are fucking killer, and that's no disrespect to Chester. I have not been the biggest Linkin Park fan. This is really the first time that I'm like, holy shit, go Linkin Park, and I'm stoked to check out the back catalog. But I think Emily fucking crushes on vocals throughout this entire record, and I think she's a fantastic addition to the band. My other problem with this record is it feels disjointed as fuck while you're listening to it. The flow is not there.
It's non-existent.
Yeah,
the thing. There's no flow.
It feels more like a mixtape than an album, because it's just like ping-ponging around, and there are ways to do that is right, that doesn't feel so disorienting, but at certain points it almost feels disorienting for this record, and it's honestly, and even like makes the fact that the singles are so strong stand out even more, because now I'm focused, like now I'm even more zoned in on the album, because it keeps ping-ponging around. So even while I'm trying to like do other things, I keep zoning in on the fact that the song ended and now another one is on, because there was zero there doesn't have to be a smooth transition every goddamn time, but it is so clear that one song ended and the next one started, that those are the two biggest glaring issues for me with this record. But I do still think it's an incredibly solid album, and I'm glad to see them back. And I'm also glad to see them, with this tour that they put up last Thursday, and the pre-sale started today and will run through until Friday when the general on sale hits, that they are bringing so many up and coming acts in the metal scene out on the road with them, as well as some other up and coming acts in other genres. I mean, they got Grandson and Gene Dawson, coming out to support as well. Paris. So it's not all metalcore acts that they're bringing out. They're bringing out all sorts of other things, but it is cool specifically there to see acts like Architects and Spirit Box getting the call to do some dates. I wish they were mine, but again, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I'm stoked to see Paris open for them. Yeah. But yeah, overall, I do think incredibly solid album. I am, as I said, stoked to see them back. The Emptiness Machine and Heavy is the Crown are my favorite singles, but I was able to come away with obviously some non-singles that I enjoyed because I wound up enjoying the album in full. I Give You Everything I Have, which is stylized to be IGYEIH. I said that without even looking at the goddamn title, bro. Go me.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll.
I actually saw some people saying online that that's the weakest part of the album. That was what gave, like, that was the first non-single on my first listen that gave me hope. Like, granted, it's towards the end of the album, but like gave me the oomph to listen to it again and take more away with it. Casualty is another one because that is just the screams on that really showcase what I love about Emily's vocals is that song. And Two-Faced, which wound up being a single a couple days before the album, but I don't count it because it only got to be a single for like 2 days. Is another favorite of mine. I came away enjoying the album, feeling like I got what I signed up for, but there is definitely this disconnect between the singles and the non-singles, and there's a reason why the singles were the singles, even the slower poppier songs. Versus the non-singles. It's very obvious, but you know, it almost felt like I was listening to an early 2000s record because, you know, there's albums where it was like clear that there were a couple of songs on there meant to sell the CD and the rest was literally filler. And I'm not saying that this album feels like a bunch of filler, but it did feel like, you know, those times when I would buy a CD amped on the song I heard on the radio and then listen to the rest of the album and be like, damn, because at the time,
like, where's more of that?
Yeah, at the time, I just wanted to hear what I wanted to hear, and I wasn't gonna like listen to the whole thing and want to get into it, because I was just at a different musical point in my life. Now, I'll dig in a little deeper, but that was kind of the feeling that I got from the record, which I guess is a cool callback to nostalgia, but maybe not in the best way possible.
Yeah, that's not good, guys. That's not a positive. We should have left that in the past, you know?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna leave mine on a negative note. I just want to reiterate that I did think the album was extremely solid. It's just that disconnect, obvious, glaring, had to call it out multiple times. But I will be continuing to check this album out. As I said, I have my tickets already for this tour. I'm excited to see them. And if it's a world tour, so there are a shitload of dates hitting all sorts of continents, and there will probably be more added because I know not all the continents and countries and all that shit are on there.
No, that's every continent and country and state ever. Actually, so, everything else is a lie.
I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if there's more coming. I believe that Australia is missing, and I don't know why they would miss that. Keep an eye. They go on sale Friday. Check their website. There's plenty of dates, as I said, hitting all sorts of countries and continents and states and towns and everything. So there's probably one coming near you, as long as it's hitting your continent. Letdown dropped his new album, Be Okay. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, let's talk about it. All right.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to start? I started the last two, so I'm going to let you have this one.
Sure, man. We've been following Letdown for a little bit. We had him on the podcast beginning of last year.
Was it?
Yeah. To chat about a single. And we've been following loosely ever since. I got to see him earlier this summer, open for the summer school tour.
That's true.
And that kind of, got me caught up because, as I said, we were loosely following him. We weren't covering the stuff, but we're following him on socials and things like that. Would see what he was posting, catch a song here and there, release radar and things like that. But kind of tuned me back into what was going on. The album wasn't formally announced then, but singles were starting to drop off of it at that time. And I was like, God damn, man, like.
God damn.
They're fantastic songwriter.
Absolutely.
They're
Yeah.
like the album covers a wide range of genres. But every single song is written extremely well and has a catchy moment, even if it's not meant to be catchy. Like Be Okay, which is the title track featuring Lolo, is one of the slower cuts on the record, but is one of my favorites because of how good the songwriting is. Not to mention that Lolo feature on the song is a fantastic addition.
Yeah.
But that's the most glaring thing for me is fantastic songwriting with extremely catchy choruses. And if you know me and this podcast, you know that is what will get me to say the album is good even if the shit sucks.
Absolutely.
If it's got catchy choruses, sign me the hell up.
Check. Yeah.
And this album is littered with it. I'm gonna cop out and say that a lot of my favorites are the singles. Spent a little bit more time with them. I do think they're singles for a reason. They're very strong tracks. But so Hate Myself, Raincoat, which was a song that he played on that summer school tour that stood out to me at that time, and Go to Hell were all singles that are my favorites. But I also really dug Deja Vu, Be Okay, like I previously mentioned. Crying in the Shower was also a single, but huge special shout out to that one. And the list could go on and on. I named 6 songs, and the album is long, but overall very much enjoyed this album. Huge shout out to catchy choruses. Stoked to see what's coming up next, and maybe keep your eyes peeled to this channel for something pertaining this album and the artist and the word interview.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. I think this album is fucking incredible. I think you checked all the boxes. It definitely covers a wide variety of genres and sounds and beats and everything. But the thing that I really like about this record is it's a lot of ass shakers, but it's ass shakers where you're like, oh fuck yeah, this is catchy, and I'm tapping my foot, I'm nodding my head, and then you for half a second listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh
shit,
fuck, that's
and then
really
you start shaking your
sad.
ass again.
Exactly, and then you go I could still shake a little ass to this. It's a great record. I love when albums are able to have the heavy or very powerful lyrics coexist with very poppy or catchy songs, just in general. I think fucking nailed it. I think it's crazy. I love the record a lot. My personal favorites are I really like Me, Myself, and I, Imposter Syndrome, Crying in the Shower, and then I also did enjoy Raincoat, and 2 of those are singles. Two of those are singles. Big fan of this. Really liked it a lot. And keep your eyes peeled. Possibly. Maybe. Who knows?
Mayhaps.
Yeah. In her own words, dropped their new EP, Left in the Dark.
Hell yeah.
This EP is so fucking fun. I like this EP a lot. Again, it's another one of those things that we just mentioned with the Letdown album where it's kind of like ass shakers, but then if you kind of tune into the lyrics, you're kind of like, oh fuck, well that's sad. That's not good. That's a sad relationship story. That's not happy at all, guys. I think that it's short and sweet. Fuck, how long is it? It's 21 minutes. So, I mean, if you have 21 minutes to spare, if you have 20 minutes to spare, I recommend listening to this record. It's in, it's out, and it definitely leaves a impression on you. Yeah, honestly, I think it's really fucking solid. I mean, all killer, no filler. They even have a fucking slow song on here. How are you able to mix a slow song into an EP and have me really fucking enjoy it? Because usually I think it's kind of sometimes, not all the time, a waste of space.
Yeah.
Because it's if you only have 20 minutes, why would you waste it on an acoustic or slower track? But I think honestly, they fucking killed it. It flowed incredibly well. Big fan of this EP.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this EP. This band for me, I've been following them for a while because I saw them when they were on that co-headlining tour with Belmont before the last album even came out. And I always thought that they were good. And I thought that we chatted about that record, and I thought the record was solid, but it always felt like it was missing something for me. Like the band was missing that little extra spice that like tunes me in all the way and gets me signed on and stoked on everything. And I think they got it with this EP, because I confidently feel like this is the best shit that I've seen this band put out. It's got that like staying power that I feel like sometimes I struggle with, where it is like, the last record was solid, but it felt like it was kind of that like in one ear out the other kind of effect, which I hate saying that. But this album, EP, even with the singles, when they started rolling them out, I'm like, I know there's going to be something different and special when it comes time for whatever it's going to be. At the time we didn't know EP album what it was going to be, but I just like hearing a song like Beg for More or House Party. I was like, damn, like they've got it this time around. This is I haven't even heard the full body of work yet, and I can say this is confidently the best music they've ever done, and that stays through for this entire EP. I think it's incredibly fucking solid. There's not a single bad song on here. You hit the nail on the head with All Killer No Filler. They were able to fit in slow songs, a complete slow track with 96 hours, and then starting to pick up the energy again with You, but You is still on the slower side as well. They bring you on that emotional journey in 20 minutes. That's pretty fucking badass. My favorites are Beg for More, Story of Us, and House Party. Three upbeat ass shakers. You can sign me the hell up for those. Shout out the Young Culture feature on House Party. That's such a fantastic collab right there. But yeah, overall very amped on this. Stoked to see what comes next. They've got a couple of headline dates at the end of the year, and then they tweeted earlier today that if you want to see them on another tour, you should tune back in tomorrow, which is Tuesday. By the time this review's out, that will probably already be announced, so there'll be more dates, so stay tuned. Check the website, check the socials.
Exactly. Hell yeah. And go to a show if it's near you, because this band is fucking crazy.
Hell yeah. Less Than Jake dropped their new EP Uncharted. We got to chat with Roger from the band about the EP, and it is out now. That's fucking dope. Now, it has been a while since Less Than Jake has put out new music. The last record was 2020. I remember us talking about something from that release. It might not have been the full album. It might have just been a single. I'm not saying to go back and watch it.
Yeah, don't watch that.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up because I know around that we probably said something along the lines of, we don't like ska, which probably rang true at the time, and it's definitely a acquired taste. But this EP, the first time I heard it, I was like, this is fucking dope. And the idiot that said that a couple of years ago was fucking wrong.
Fuck him, bro. Fuck him.
I really, 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 really enjoyed this. I think it's it's fucking solid. It's super catchy. There are still some songs on here, mainly like Broken Words is like the entire record is obviously a ska record, but that's the most like horn focused song on the EP, and I'm still kind of like, it starts with that. I'm still not 100% sold on ska as a genre. I'm still getting into it. I think we both are. So to open with that, it's always still like that little jump. But I'm not like turning it off like I would have been 4 years ago or whenever the hell we talked about that album. Sunnyside is my favorite. It's so incredibly catchy. And this entire EP is just fucking awesome. Big fan of this, and it turned a page for me on a genre that I didn't know that I could find enjoyment in. So I consider this a massive win.
Hell yeah. So ska has been something, I mean, there are bands that I listen to that have ska elements, so it's not necessarily a genre that I look for or dive into or I'm like excited about, I guess, but when I do hear it, it's always welcome, I guess, which is, that's growth from
Yeah.
2020, honestly, that's fucking growth. Something about ska has always interested me because it's very bouncy, it's very playful, it's fun, and it's like you can't really be sad listening to a ska song, I don't think. It's like fucking Electric Callboy, you know, where it's like that energy is gonna infect you either way,
Mhm.
and that's just how it's gonna be. So going into this record kind of with the seed in my mind of, well, I already like a lot of bands that have ska elements or have incorporated horns in any way into their music. This should be pretty good. I was right. I fucking love this record a lot. It's great to listen to a Less Than Jake EP in full and actually be able to digest it and have a lot of time with it. I mean, how long is this EP? It is 22 minutes. Again, another fucking 20-minute journey. So it was great having 22 minutes and 15 seconds with Less Than Jake. And I think it's incredible. I completely agree. Sunnyside is also my favorite. I also really like Brand New Day and Dead Days Over and Over,
Mhm.
which are they're all stacked on top of each other. So imagine my surprise of, no, this is my favorite. No, this is my favorite. EP is incredible. The interview was a lot of fun. If you haven't watched it already, definitely go and check it out. Roger was cool as fuck to talk to,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty big deal because we've known Less Than Jake, known of Less Than Jake. We didn't know them
Yeah.
personally before, but we've known of Less Than Jake for years before the podcast. So that was a big one.
Yeah.
At least for me. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
tweaking a little bit in the back of my head.
I
But it was
texted
good.
I texted Flora. I was like, "We're interviewing Less Than Jake." She, no biggie. And when she says, "Oh, no biggie," I'm like, "Yeah, she's fucking freaking out." But
I'm tweaking a little
yeah,
bit. Yeah.
we had been checking out the singles independently of the podcast, digging what was going on. So it was a big deal to chat with them because we were finally on board. So it was fucking dope to be like we're into the band and now we get to chat with them as well. So that's pretty
It's
fucking
so
awesome.
fucking cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
great timing.
Yep.
Great timing. Fever 333 dropped the new single Hellfire. This is for the League of Legends tournament, I assume. Something with League of Legends.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'm assuming it's kind of the same thing that like Rob from Don Broco did, where it was for another game event. I don't know. I'm not in that side of gaming. I mean, if someone tells me about Skyrim, you know, I'm all in, but it's like League of Legends and all that shit.
But I do
Clueless.
know that all of the things that League of Legends does, you know, for when it comes to songs and, you know, having artists do songs for the game, they're always fucking massive. Obviously, there's a huge fan base for League of Legends. One of the biggest fucking games there is. So obviously that translates when they slap their name, their Spotify page on a song. Those songs always do fucking mega. This song is already creeped up to the band's top 5 on their Spotify.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I thought that this was fucking cool. It's a little bit more electronic focus versus what you normally get from Fever 333. But I do think that, you know, the beat on this song matches Jason's energy, and it's still a perfect match, even though it's not like your typical Fever 333 song.
Yeah. I have gotten very into Fever 333 ever
Normal
since
amount.
a normal amount. Ever since the rollout of what is it, Darker White? I think it was the name of their album that they dropped this year. Shit, if you haven't listened to Darker White, please listen to it. It's so fucking good. I love this song a lot. I think it is so much fun. And if they played this shit live, if they ever, you know, whenever they decide to get back on the road again, I would do something to this song. I don't know. I don't know if I'd mosh. I don't know if I'd just tweak out. Something will happen. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it matches their energy, as you said, but just kind of in a different font.
Yeah.
It's like an alternate reality Fever 333 if they decided
It's italicized.
to be like it's so strange, but it matches so well. It's because Jason is fucking awesome. I love his energy always. I love how I love his flow. I love how he delivers his lines. I think he's just fucking incredible. Not to fucking dick rider, but I do think he is one of the best vocalists, rappers, everything out there right now in the alternative scene. Incredible song. Really big fan of it. I think it's great. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Chrissy Costanza dropped her new single, Perfect Crime. Didn't expect to get new Chrissy Costanza
Chrissy.
solo music so
She
soon.
just dropped an EP.
Yeah, just dropped the EP, but the tour in the UK and EU is kicking off. I believe this week. So I guess it makes sense.
A little treat.
Yeah, a little treat. Again, no idea what this is a part of. I'm as flabbergasted as you, the listener, might be. That there's new Chrissy Costanza music already. But I think this song is cool. She continues to fucking nail it. All the tracks, that EP as well as the single, have all been fucking awesome. Continuing the streak of nothing but bangers.
Yeah, for real.
Curious to see what this is going to turn into, if it's going to turn into anything. But always a pleasant surprise.
For sure. I thought this song was great. I completely agree. She's kind of on a roll of putting out only good songs, which is a great streak to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of this track. I mean, my favorite song by her is still Try to Act Your Age, or to Act Your Age, something like that. Really big fan of that song still, but I do enjoy this track a lot as well.
Oh yeah.
Archers dropped their new single, Perfect Strangers. Shout out Archers, bro. This song is so fucking good.
And we had 2 songs with perfect in the title in a row.
I'm so happy you pointed that out, because if you weren't going to point it out, I was gonna make a joke about it, because it made me very happy.
I didn't notice it until I noticed you on the list you typed out.
Really? Oh wow!
I put the goddamn playlist together.
That's crazy. Okay, hey, better late than never. Better late than never.
I'm very observant. Yeah, I think this song is fucking cool. As much as I love, when Archers is heavy, I do think that they do crush the softer side. This is a tad bit heavier than what we would normally get from a soft, slow, sad Archers song. So I'm here for it. I'm digging it. I like both sides of their coin that they play.
Absolutely. I love the fucking sound of this song so much. I think it's the perfect balance of kind of like mysterious indie rock almost. Indie is such a heavy word. It's like the heaviest indie rock that, it's so hard to explain. I love it though. I think it's great, and I'm a big fan of this track. I fucking love Archers.
Hell yeah. Hands Like Houses and Kellen Quinn dropped a new single, Obey.
Kellen Quinn, every single time, because I didn't know he was on this song, because I was looking at the the podcast playlist on my phone, so it was just Hands Like Houses, and I went, okay, cool. And then I was like, since when was there a fucking female vocalist in Hands Like Houses? And then I was like, wait a minute, I know that fucking voice.
Kellen
and I clicked it, and I was
Quinn.
like, oh, it's fucking Kellen Quinn. You got me on Mon Cherie by fucking Palais Royale, and you got me again on Obey by Hands Like Houses. So 0 for 2. I'm 0 for 2 right now. I fucking love this track a lot. I think it's a very strong, powerful song. Big fan of Kellen Quinn. I'm so happy this collaboration happened. I think it's so fucking cool. This one to me has a lot more of the Fame vibe to it. Is that just me? This
I was
one to
feeling
me,
that too.
yeah, it has that kind of like summer cruising heavy vibe. I don't know, like cruising through a fucking mountain vibe, which to me breeds the Fame. So big fan of this song. I think it's great, and I love the collaboration.
There were times on this song where, like, obviously Josh has his vocals, but there were times where the vocal delivery felt like I was listening to a Fame song again. Which, hey, not a bad thing. It's why we followed Hands Like Houses, and Josh over to the new iteration of the band. But this is one of my favorite songs that we've gotten from Hands Like Houses throughout this entire rollout that's been going on. Because I think that this band plus Kellen Quinn is a fantastic match. Big fan of this. Stoked to see whatever's coming next. We just keep getting singles and EPs, but Lord only knows what's coming from this point. But the song is good, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah.
That's all that fucking matters. Stick to Your Guns dropped their new single, More Than a Witness. This song fucking kicks you in the jaw as soon as it starts, and I'm a big fan of it. I love how fucking fast it is. I love the switch off of the singing to the fucking screaming. I think it's great. Love this song a lot. Big fan of Stick to Your Guns.
Hell yeah. This one, as you said, kick to the fucking teeth, bro. Big fan of this one. Stoked for this album coming out at the top of next year. Just punching you right in the fucking face, and I'm fucking here for it. That's why I come to a band like Stick to Your Guns, to get fucking punched in the face.
Exactly.
Metaphorically.
That's it. Yeah, that's fucking it.
Yeah. And for our last topic, Spirit Box dropped a new single, Perfect Soul. Popped this one on here last minute. It did come out this morning, but it was before the podcast, so I was like, I'd throw it on there. Typically would wait, but how am I going to wait to talk about new Spirit Box? They announced their new record coming out March 7th, 2025, Tsunami Sea. Very excited for that. This is not in your face screaming super heavy Spirit Box. This is playing the opposite side of the more softer, vibey Spirit Box, which is okay. I think that they crush both sides, and we already got the ultra heavy side with Soft Spine. Spine. Just know what you're getting with this album. It's not like the past couple of EPs where it was pretty much all in your face. And that's fine, because it's what the band does. I'm a big fan of the song. I am excited for this album in March. And I'm hoping, as much as my wallet hopes that this, waits a little while, a headline tour for 2025 that announces soon would be fantastic. Saying that, knowing absolutely nothing, but I mean, listen, a record coming off the tour with Korn, I'm gonna use context clues and say there's probably something coming.
Exactly, there's gotta be, because there's no way they're just gonna be like, all right, well, that's it, guys. We're just gonna stay at home now.
We're gonna go.
Exactly, like that's it. Don't worry, guys. I fucking love this track. I love Courtney's vocals. Just her clean vocals are fucking angelic, beautiful. My introduction fully into Courtney's, like when it finally kind of set in, and I was like, holy shit, wait, no, you're really good, was her feature on the Crown the Empire song, where she's singing along with Andy on In Another Life. Yep. Another Life, and I think it's In Another Life, because Another Life is the Motionless in White song. Oh, can you guys just get creative?
We dropped a review for that record that song, the Motionless in White song, is on today.
So go watch and listen to that. Just watch. There's no just listening, unless you just don't look at it, which is fine too. That works. I think this song is incredible. I'm very excited to see what else the rest of the album has. I wonder if this is a softer spot on the record, and if they're gonna get heavier. I wonder if this is the sound for the record, and this was their, hey guys, this is your teaser, basically.
God, I hope not. No offense. I love when they do this, but please be heavy and in my face.
I think I would love a perfect balance. Genuinely. Like, I would love super heavy shit and then just like a couple songs like this, because that keeps my brain happy. So I'm very excited. Honestly, Spirit Box, I'm ready to become a fan. I'm here now. I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
Hell yeah. Well, as I said, that's all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Twitter. It's good_noise_cast. Instagram's Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube, Good Noise Podcast. All the audio streaming services under the sun are Good Noise Podcast. And Patreon.com is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Gloria's got your Patreon supporters, your Twitch subs, your important plugs, your merch store plug, and your Amazon storefront plug. And then we're going to sign off here.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Matt from Pulses, Pop Punk Apologist, David Arrington, Tyson from Heal the Hurt, and Eric. And thank you to our Twitch sub, Matt, again from Pulses. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Please check out our merch. It is goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. Check out our Amazon storefront. It has all of our equipment that we use to create the podcast. It is in the description of anywhere that you're listening or watching the video. So go check it out. We get a little commission from it if you buy something, which helps us run the podcast, which is awesome. Important plugs: Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, Free Palestine, be a decent person, and be good.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have today. I've been Shane.
I've been Glory.
And we have been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.